the reason why we will not see that is because when requests come to your office, you will call the CEO, sit with the CEO, and the CEO may tell you, let me go back and come back and we can discuss it. If the payment is not honored, maybe there is no money, those will be perhaps sent back or whatever. But then we wouldn't, because they are not paid, you would not see any voucher or minutes on it. So because you said that, that's why I said we would not know that. You can only know what has been written on the request. The other voucher is for cash impressed for the rental of chairs and tents for the town hall meeting on Saturday, 5th of March, 2022.
Cash impress la impress bi nga xamne bobu pour jëndal ay togu jënd ay bagages moy wéri month of January,
5th of March 2022.
5th of March 2022
at Fitzgerald Street.
Moy Fitzgerald Street.
$15,000.
Moy njëg bi moy fuk ak juroom jooni, $15,000.
The request again raised in the usual way.
The request bi soko sété ni ngeen ko dé défé non ngeen ko défon.
On behalf of the Lord Mayor.
Néna ci sa tour.
For $15,000.
$15,000.
How did you arrive at this amount?
Naka ngeen halaté be jot njëgi bobu mëna fuk ak juroom jooni.
So the issue is because it's raised in her name.
Néna soko sété moné soko sété moy because soko sété li dañ ko bindal ci sa tour.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Already asked the question. I said, how did you arrive at the amount? How did you arrive to the amount of $15,000?
Nena lolu nakala deme bengen am jegi bo bi nga xamne dem na be mu njegi bi dem na be $15,000.
I wouldn't know that yesterday demba wax na la ko.
I wouldn't know that because I told you yesterday, I told you that. What the youth or the genius do, renting chairs or buying petty things, I cannot be able to.
Because
I don't go to where they rent chairs.
Why?
What if at all it was written on behalf of my name? What it must have a name where Fatu must wrote.
So
and she did it in my name.
I take full responsibility of that.
I take that responsibility.
Yes, but well, the issue is it's not Fatu's role. Fatu is a public relations officer.
Public relation officer.
Not a procurement officer.
Procurement officer.
Wow, lolu nangu nako.
Yes, I agree to that.
Hedna mom su fekene as the PRO CEO be assigned nako demal def li.
Maybe for her as a PRO, but it was assigned to her by the CEO to say, let you do this.
Because fok mo am kuy assign Fatu.
Then you see me.
Neko responsibility bi yak wara jël.
Somebody must assign Fatu to say this responsibility.
Said you assigned her.
No. Man, so the CEO be assigned nako yo ya wara jël this role.
I'm saying if, for instance, if the CEO assigned her to say, I want you to take this role.
You will organize sangam.
You will go to this place and make an organize therein. And she came to me. And she want to know exactly what and what did we need.
So obviously,
obviously we will need chairs. And we need so etc. etc.
So request be on my name.
Then she did it, wrote the request on behalf of my name. And I think yesterday I elaborate on that. That she wrote the request on my name.
And I take full responsibility of it.
And I do take the responsibility.
Fatu said that she was instructed by the Lord Mayor.
Fatu mom wax nako ne lolu lo xamne yow Lord Mayor ya ko instruct pour mu def ko.
In some instances she will be instructed by the CEO.
Amna jamono yo xamne legol tamit CEO moko de instruct.
And for the memo as well will speak for itself.
Te memo bi ci bopam mom dina wax mbiram.
That it is on the instructions of the mayor.
Nena moy yow sa instruction bi la ci
That I demand this amount.
Li mota mo dal di laajte njegi bi amount bi.
And so that money
Nena legi xaalis bobu
that is demanded,
bi nga xamne mom ci bopam daf ko demand,
that is supposed to pass through a different channel,
bi nga xamne dafa wara jaar ci benen yoon,
and is passing through the wrong channel,
te mu nge dem yoon bo xamne bu warut,
would not have been proper.
Nena te lolu negot lo xamne dafa war.
Do you understand that?
Nena understand lolu?
Wow.
Yes.
The chairs that are rented and the tents that are rented,
Nena towi ak tent yi nga xamne da ngeen ko luwason.
you may say it is just they are just chairs and tents as a small program.
Nena so jëlé togi ak tent yi pour programme bo xamne negot programme bu mag.
But there are so many people I know in Banjul who rent chairs and tents.
Te xamna ne ñu bari ñoo nekk Banjul ñoo xamne dañoo luwas togi ak tent yi.
The law requires that they have equal opportunity.
Te lord bi mom ci bopam wara gis ne ñooñu yeb dañu wara emal lena opportunity.
Do you agree with that?
Nena nango nga lolu.
110%.
110%.
And this defeats that purpose.
Nena te li so ko sété li dafa defeat purpose bobu de solo bobu.
Do you agree with that?
110%.
110%.
The other issue
Nena benen mbir mi moy
is the person going to rent these chairs
nena ko xamne ko mo wara joxe wala luwase togu yi.
may benefit financially from it
Nena mun na njëriñoo si xaalis si
because
loolu.
it did not pass through the usual way.
Nena parce que soo ko seetee jaaratu yoon boo xam ne bu war.
Do you accept that?
Nena nangu nga loolu.
Why li cancel?
Lead counsel.
Foog naa man dama la ko waxal ba mu set ma ne la.
I think I have explained to
Where
you
as
clearly.
point A su wrongee.
I told you
So the
when
baby Z
point
dafa wrong.
A, when it is wrong, if you go to point C, it will be wrong.
So from A to Z.
From A to Z,
ma ne la man jël naa responsibility.
I told you I get the responsibility.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mun a jël ñu
Now
ñëw.
we go to the other voucher.
Nena ñu dem si beneen voucher.
We have a $69,000 payment. It says allocation for the catering of dinner to entertain council visiting mayor of Ostend, Belgium, and delegation. $69,000 was paid
Nena
for
69
catering and dinner
1000 fengeen ko pour catering ak reer bi mooy dina.
for the visiting mayor of Ostend,
Nena
Belgium,
mooy the president mayor of Ostend, Belgium.
and delegation.
Ak délégation am yi ñi nga xam ne ñooñu la àndal.
We have a request
Nena am nañ fa request
for catering of dinner,
for catering of dinner.
raised again the usual way by the assistant public relations officer for all the vouchers we are dealing with now.
Nena voucher yang ne yëpp yi nga xam ne yooyu la ñoo wax mbiram yi fu mu ne nii.
Would be from Fatou Mbenga,
Nena dañu yooyu yëpp jógee nañ si Fatou Mbenga.
assistant public relations officer.
mooy assistant public relation officer.
If we are to change to another set of vouchers,
Nena su ñooy wécci dem si yeneen voucher.
I will let you know.
Nena dina la ko yégal balaa ñu def loolu.
Now, it reads, on behalf of the mayor of Banjul,
Nena léegi lu fa nekk mu ne lu ñu wax fii nena si yow si sa doon yow mayor on behalf of mayor of Banjul.
I write to request for the following payments.
Nena mu ngi bind di laajte ay fay.
For the catering of dinner with the visiting mayor from Ostend City.
Nena pour affaire catering kan mi nga xam ne mayor bi ku war a jógee Austin City.
3 sheep,
Nena 3 sip.
$30,000.
Nena ñetti xar.
5 canned drinks,
Nena 5 canned drinks.
$5,000.
$5,000.
20 packets of water,
20 packets of ndox mooy ndox.
$2,000.
$2,000.
The chef,
The chef toogakat bi.
$5,000.
$5,000.
Musicians for entertainment,
Nena mooy jëwel yi musiciens yi.
Big Moo,
Big Mo
$6,000.
$6,000.
Cora,
$6,000.
$6,000. You'll present or buy one Cora
I present or buy one Cora.
as a gift for $3,000.
Mu ne nga jënd benn Cora $6,000.
4 drums each,
Nena ñeneenti sabar.
each costing $3,000,
Nena bu nekk mu ngi jar $3,000.
making it $12,000.
Mu ne lépp mu ngi nekk njëgi yooyu mu ngi nekk $12,000.
Now, when the request was raised,
Nena request bi ngeen ko bindoon.
the payments were made,
Nena fay bi dafa amoon dañu fay.
and the money was given to Fatou Mbenga.
Nena te xaalis bi da ngeen ko joxoon Fatou Mbenga.
Now, how did you arrive at these figures that 3 sheep will cost $30,000, that 5 canned drinks, I know is canned drinks per packet, not one. But 5 packets of canned drinks will cost $5,000. That will be $1,000 per packet. 20 packets of water, $2,000 is. So these 5 crates of canned drinks, not packets, sorry. 20 packets of water, $2,000 is. Chef, 5,000, and musician. How did you arrive at these figures?
Legi soko sete njegi bi nga amne bobu la wa fi moy 69,000 na nakala deme be ngeen am njegi bobu so sete te yow li nga wax moy ñati hari de ngeen ko jëndé $30,000.
Fogna li biñ ko organize sa fekut ma fi.
I think when these things have been organized, I was not in town.
I came in the middle of the organizing committee bi ñoo defar li.
I came in the middle of the organizing committee when they were doing their organization.
Most of the liñ doon def ni yépp dañ ko discuss ak the EU project team bi councilors yi ak ñoom ñëpp ñoo toog.
All what these activities they were preparing, it was something that they all sit together and discuss with the EU members and councillors. They all seated and had a discussion on that.
Because no understand more, they wanted to have a dinner for him at the Coco Ozone by the fair.
All what I knew was that their intention was to go to Coco Beach to have the dinner there, but it was expensive.
So you know they go there for local.
No, they then later said they want to make it local.
Coco Ocean, I believe the witness.
Coco Ocean.
Wow.
Yes.
So for going to the dinner be?
That is where they wanted to
so
have the dinner.
When you like it was expensive.
But the amount there, it was very expensive.
So you decided to go to local?
Now they decided that they will make it locally.
If I remember, if
I could remember, this dinner was done in my compound. Some of the people came along with, they bought ships, some bought canned drinks. I know, I have no idea. All I know is the event. Because my compound is very wide. I entertain them for them to come and make it therein. But how they come to buy these ships or other things, how much it cost? I know the person who went to buy these ships brought the ships to my home. He's a councillor.
So nakala price bobu.
But how they arrived at the price? I have no idea.
Why again
But again, as I said, Fatu raised the voucher or the request through my name. And Fatu, when she's writing a request, she must write it on my behalf. It was only yesterday that I understand that they should write these vouchers through the name of council.
So
for me, what she was doing, I thought nothing was wrong there.
No, Lord Mayor.
No,
so I'm just waiting for the interpreter.
What I'm trying to make clear is that because it was written on my behalf. On my name. I have never thought that the way he's writing on my behalf was wrong. Fatu is my junior, she was under me. This is why I said to you, I have taken all these responsibilities.
Just to correct that part. The idea of raising a request by anyone in council or anyone outside council is not wrong.
Nena puru mujapale la fofu correct la nena puru nga binda request si turi nit na si council la wala si biti council nena fofu mu amut lo xamne lo andut wala jubut.
So anyone can raise a request.
Nena ku neka mun na raise request.
You can raise a request for a payment that is lawfully supposed to be paid to you. Maybe it's a salary or it's your personal emoluments.
Nena mun na neka yow sa bopam nga raise request ci sa tour bi nga xamne dafa jub dafa war te mun na neka sa fay bi la wala lo xamne lu war pour nga jot ko.
The financial manual dictates all payments and how it's supposed to be done.
Nena financial manual bi dafa wax façon fay yeb bi nga nek ak fay bu nek mo wara dafa.
But payments that are supposed to be subject to procurement.
procurement
should pass through the lawful way. So you can raise the request, but the money paid to you, that is where the problem is. I don't know whether we're on the same page.
Wow, moy li mala wax rek lead council manela.
Yes, as I said, I told you,
Fatou bi na ko suma tour.
Fatou have raised it on my name.
Jox nañ Fatou xaliss bi.
And monies were handed over to Fatou.
Xaliss bi dem nañ jënd bagage yi.
And they took the monies and went to purchase all these items.
Xam nga man duma xam ndax procurement moko jënd ndax Mr. A or B ñoko dem def.
I will not know whether it passed through procurement or A and B done it.
Man fima muna em moy.
Where I be able to where I can stop is that.
Li la soxla.
This is what I want.
Naka lañ ko defé?
How did you do it?
Munuma daw ci sen gannaaw topalu lu tam.
I will not be able to follow them to know exactly.
No, the issue is when as the mayor or as council or as CEO or as not council as
council very well
or as CEO or finance director, these people, these offices, they are supposed to know how council is supposed to be managed in and out.
Nena ñom dafa war pour ñu xam council bi naka lañ ko wara manager ci biir activité yépp.
The general council, when they go to elections,
nena ñom suñ démé election,
they win their various seats.
ñu dal di win sen tog yi.
They come and sit at council.
ñu ñëw ci council tok.
It is their job to know how council should be managed in and out.
Nena lolu sen liggéey la té dafa war sen warugal la pour ñu mëna xam council bi naka la mo manager na ci biir la wala ci biti.
Chairman, mayor, mayoress, as the case may be.
Nena chairman, mayor, mayoress nu monta neka.
When they are elected, duly elected,
nena soñ leen électé ci yoon,
and they are now occupying the office,
légui yéna ngi amé sen office,
should know the management of council entirely.
Nena dafa war pour nga xam council bi manager bi entirely.
The same applies to the CEO.
Nena lolu tamit the same lolu ben yoon bi la CEO tamit lu wargal bo mo nekk ci mom.
And finance directors.
Ak finance director.
So that is why
nena li motax
the payments, the manner in which payment is supposed to be done.
Nena yoon bi nga xamne wara mana bi nga xamne fay bi non la wara démé wala non lañ ko wara défé
is embedded or captured in these laws.
Lolu yeb da nga gis ne loi bi yeb mu ko amé mu ko woné mu ngi léral fo yeb nu mu wara démé.
So that it is clear that when a payment is not properly done,
nena lolu mom dafa lér ne fay so fay li nga xamne andut wala jaadut fay bu jaadut.
The law would have already told you that the manner in which the payment was made was wrong.
Nena te loi bi wax na la ba paré ne yow fay bo bi nga xamne def nga ko andut ak yoon.
So Lord Mayor, have these procurement been conducted by your office?
Nena procurement bi su fekkee ne da ngeen ko dogal sa office bi ñu kondo ko ci sa office bi.
Even that culture itself.
Nena da nga gis ne even culture bobu non ci bopam.
Is what is unlawful.
Nena nekkut ne loo xam ne andut ak loi bi.
Do you understand that?
Nena leer na ci yow.
Why lead council?
Lead council.
Fatou nekkut suma office de.
Fatou is not in my office.
Fatou is part of the admin.
Fatou is part of the admin.
So fekkee ne xam naa kon dafa mel ni benn tey yow understand loolu li ma la bëgg a explainal.
Maybe I know still it's not clear to you what I'm trying to.
Am nañ a programme.
We had a program.
The CEO man am naa suma wala CEO am na walam.
I have my part, CEO have his part.
CEO decided ne Fatou Menga kaay yow laa bëgg nga liggéey ak mayor bi ci ABC.
Then the CEO decision is that Fatou Menga, come and attach yourself with the mayor. You can work and go ahead with her.
Fatou Menga talk na at the office of the mayor. You plan ne ñun suñ function bi nii la war a demee.
Then Fatou Menga came to the office of the mayor, seated there. We make a plan that this is how we want things to work.
Fatou will go back to the CEO.
Fatou will go back to the CEO.
Mo explain na ko function bi nii la war a demee.
And explain to him that this is what the type of function we want to do things.
Mu ñëw ci man.
She'll come back to me.
Mu raise a voucher.
Then a voucher will be raised.
So after lolu naka lañ def?
After that, what we normally did,
lolu mënuma ko xam.
or what they normally do, I will not know.
So both the mayor and the CEO would have adopted a very wrong procedure.
Nena kon dafa melni CEO ak mayor bi yeb da nga gis ne ñom yoon bu ñu jël ne fa nekk yoon bo xamne yoon bu bon andut.
Waaw nanguna.
Jubut sa. Yes, I agree.
Motax manela.
That is what that is the reason why I say
Fatou defu dara.
Fatou did nothing.
Fatou is just a messenger.
Fatou was just a messenger.
Bo xamne mom mo nek ci diga bi.
And she is the one in the middle.
And mom lim doon def.
And what she was doing
at that time.
At that right time.
Dafa feel ne mu doon def lu baax.
We feel that we were doing good things.
We had agreed to that.
Nena nangu nañ ci lolu.
She is an agent.
Nena mom nek na agent.
For the most part.
In
fact, her evidence is such that if I recall well, in fact, there were times that she will sit. I think, where is her office? Is it close to your office?
Close to CEO.
Close to CEO.
No, is it close to your office?
Office.
It's close to CEO.
I say it's close to CEO.
That is not the question. The question is whether it is close to your office, because I would not know the proximity between your office and the CEO's office.
Nena lolo do like to be moy na mom si bopam du muna wa parce que xamul sa office nena mu ngi laajte nda Fatou office am bi ak sa office bi jege ñent dañ jege ñenté.
Fatou office am bi mu ci bunta bi.
No, Fatou's office is right at the main entrance.
So it's not close to your office.
Nena kan office ñaari office yi jigante wulem. I know when she's coming to me, she'll get to me before getting to CEO.
Is it close to your office?
What
would you say is close to your office?
We are all close because Banjul City Council.
We are all close because the Banjul City Council is very tiny.
So it's correct to say Father's office is very close to your office?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That is important because her evidence
because mom evidence
is that sometimes for some of the monies that are paid to her, and she will just hold it and wait for directives from the mayor. If the mayor says pay X, she pays. Pay Y, she pays. The amount would also be communicated to her by the mayor. In fact, when I examine her, that sometimes as well, when people will come to your office and after a discussion, you will come out and tell her, give this amount to Mr. X. And she will just note it down. Does it happen that way? Does it happen that way? Does it happen that way?
Fatou any halis bo xamne impress bo xamne amna ko.
Any impress that Fatou had.
Already impress bobu dafa am fum wara dem ba pare.
That impress is already halfway or a place to go already.
It's not like Banjul City Council dañu jël xaalis def ko ci mbuus rek nek fa Fatou am de.
It doesn't mean that Banjul City Council will put money in a bag and give it to Fatou to say how.
Dafa fekk nañu am a request.
There must be already a request.
For ABCDE.
For ABCDE.
Xejna su fekke ne ñoo ñew nañ ci office bi fekk ma fa man.
For instance, if they came to the office and found me therein.
Te Fatou xamut leen.
And Fatou does not know them.
Mun na ko wax ne ko ki moy Fatou or ki moy Aida.
Then I can say to him or her that this is Fatou or Aida.
But not just like fayal Demba fayal Fatou mata.
But not like pay to Fatou or pay to Demba.
And foguma ne mom tamit non la miné waxam bi.
Then I don't think that is how she mean what he was, the evidence he was.
No, that's how she meant it.
So fekkee ne am nañ because request yi Fatou xaalis bi moo amee yëpp dafa am pour a purpose la.
The money that is in Fatou's hands is for a purpose.
It's either xaalis bi A is for Patrick, B is for Mary, C is for Fatou, D is for Seynabou. Waaye su fekkee ne moom xamut Seynabou xamut Patrick su ñëwee.
For instance, if she don't know Seynabou.
Su Patrick ñëwee si man dinaa ko ne ko Fatou kii mooy Patrick.
If Patrick comes to me, I will then call her to say this is Patrick.
Because from the request
job of the finance director.
Loolu liggéey finance director la.
And his team.
Why
That is the job. Allow me. I will always, you know, I always allow you if you latitude to talk. 100%. That is the job of the finance director. And his team. You have a paying out cashier. A receiving cashier. You have accounts clerks. That is why there is segregation of duties.
Segregation of duties.
So that the mayor does not make payment.
The mayor wants the favor.
Because what you are saying now is payment made by the mayor. And maybe you did not know. Like you said, it was wrong. Whichever the case is, whatever the case is, that process is wrong. The mayor cannot be a paying out cashier.
Lead council. They are going to try to generalize all the payments in the council.
We are trying to generalize all the payments that was done at council.
We are dealing about a particular issue, Moi Fatumenga.
Here now we are dealing with a particular issue, that is that of Fatumenga.
The mistake,
the mistake that we did in Fatumenga
doesn't make the mayor a cashier or a paying out cashier.
That does not make mayor a cashier or a paying out cashier.
I'm in tens of thousands of vouchers.
We have tens of thousands of vouchers.
You go to direct the cashier or the accounts.
Directly at the cashier or the account.
Let me rephrase.
So
let me rephrase. Let me say you are correct. I was not generalizing. But let me use a more specific language. That the payments that were made through Fatumbenga, instructions given by the mayor, those payments are wrong. That the mayor should not be a paying out cashier. You know, I had said earlier that for what we are dealing now it's only for the vouchers raised by Fatubenga through your office. That if I am switching to other set of vouchers or other issues, I will let you know. So my comments are squarely on the vouchers of Fatubenga. So all these payments that, based on what you have explained in these payments, you are performing the role of a paying out cashier.
And that
is contrary to the financial
manual.
Lead council. Today
I learned that if you are given an impress,
you need to give it to the cashier.
The impress should be given to the cashier for implementation.
Because the monies given to Fatu.
Because the monies that were given to Fatu
were all impressed.
Meant
for certain activity.
Meant for certain activities.
Or for certain payments.
Now, you have corrected me that that's supposed not to be, it should be paid to the cashier. I agree.
So the
next time when it happens there is an impress, I will tell them take it to the cashier.
This is classified as an impress.
Then you could classify as impress.
As per sometimes the voucher will say it is an impress.
Then a voucher will sometimes is an impress.
The request does not say that they are requesting for impress.
Then the request be
the request is for payments.
Then the request be
now let me just assist you with this.
For
instance, if the request says, request for catering of dinner on behalf of the Mayor of Banjul, I write to request for the following payments.
Request me so on behalf of the Banjul Mayor, munge request fare be pour catering.
For the catering of dinner with the visiting mayor from Austin City.
Catering bi moy pour reer bi dinner bi mayor bi nga xamne mu ngi joge Austin ñoo di ñew nekk gan.
And it tells you how much the mayor is requesting for.
And the fofu tamit mu dal di laajte wala mu wone mayor bi xaalis njëgi bi nga xamne ci xaalis bi lu mo ñaata la mo laajte.
This is not requesting for an impress.
Neena li kaddu bi nekkut ne mu ngi request impress.
Do you agree with that?
Neena nangu nga lolu.
Waaw xëy na ñun dañ ko jàppee comme ne impress la.
Yes, we thought that it was just like an impress.
So it is not an impress.
Neena li du impress.
Now when they approve the voucher,
neena bu ñu approve voucher bi.
That's why I said that to the CEO that he is a rubber stamp.
Neena li motax mu ne CEO bi rubber stamp la.
They will classify this as an impress.
Neena dañ ko classify as an impress.
And they will say being disbursement as a cash impress allocated for the catering of dinner.
An disbursement cash allocated for the dinner moy xaalis bo xamne dañ ko bind pour li nga xamne pour affaire reer bi.
But what do you understand by an impress?
Neena yow sa bop lo xam ci lu ñuy wax impress.
Impress comme legi may wara tukki for example.
Now, for instance, impress means, for instance, if I intend to travel,
ñu jox ma xaalis.
They give me monies.
Ba pare xëj na jox ma incidental dara ci kawam.
And maybe they give me incidental something on top of that.
As an impress.
As an impress.
Su ma ñëwee ma retire ko.
When she comes back, she retires.
Whenever I come back, I can retire the monies.
Now, there are several payments that they will classify as an impress.
And I'm not fair. We bring them there. To the impress.
And if monies are raised anytime,
paid to
the mayor by way of impress. That, do you agree with me, is not correct accounting policy? Because impressed will suggest that there is an emergency. And I will explain. But these payments are not paid based on emergencies. You'll agree with me that before the mayor of Ostend is to come to Gambia, you would have been aware. You agree?
Council, define what impress is. So
automatically, what is an
impress?
So automatically,
why you don't treat motor manela?
We were treating it. This is why I told you.
Not even man.
Possible, it was not even me.
Why admin? Because it's not me writing their impress or Fatu writing their impress.
It's not me writing the impress or Fatu writing the impress.
But the term being used as impress.
But the term they use as an impress.
They won't get my feeling, impress.
And now you show it to me that cannot be an impress.
And many times.
And many times too.
Any money they pay to somebody else.
Any money that is paid to someone else.
Is termed as an impress.
It's just divided as an impress.
But where does the fault lie? Is it council's ignorance? Or the mayors? Or the CEOs? Or the finance director? Or all of them? Because the laws are there. The manual is clear. Like today, I have never worked for council. I have never read the financial manual. When I have to do this job, I know I have to read the financial manual. So, where is the problem so that we know how to address the problem? Where do you think, as mayor for 2 terms, where do you think the problem lies? Because we are dealing with the finances of council.
Problem with councils.
The problem of councils
is
many.
So in this case fee.
In this case.
Choice of wordings la number one.
The choice of wordings. Number one.
They use impress.
Maybe they will using this word impress.
And they keep using the term impressed.
Bojang, Mr. Bojang, you can ask the witness to kindly repeat what she said if you have not heard what
Very
she
well.
said.
So you barely you don't use impress, right?
And still they are using impress.
My question is, if what is done is contrary to the law, for instance, you pick up the financial manual. Please give the mayor a copy of the financial manual. You turn to page 52. You will see, but before that, you turn to page 19.
Page 19. Yes.
The first you see on section 305 is authority for expenditure. Do you see that?
They are using authority for expenditure.
Are you there?
Well.
Yes.
An example, this tells you
that
the CEO has the power to authorize expenditure.
Then the CEO, I'm not dollar,
the mayor has the power to authorize expenditure. And the council has the power to authorize expenditure. But the council must pass a resolution to decide what is the limit for each either the CEO or the mayor.
Then the council the resolution CEO.
So when I hear the chairman or the mayors or the mayoress always saying that we don't have the power to decide payment.
Then legi mom su dege chairman di wax wala mayor wala mayoress wala CEO di wax ne ñom amuñ doole pour def fay wi.
I ask myself.
Then mom def te laajte bopam.
Did they not read?
Xana janguñ.
Did they not read the text?
Then xana janguñ text bi bu nekk
ci loi bi. Or is it that for some they know but they ignore?
Wala xam nañ ko waye dañ ko dé duñ ko dé topa.
You look at section 306.
In associated section 306.
It tells you monetary threshold in emergency cases.
Then a monetary threshold in emergency cases.
And then you see payments done anyhow.
You ask
the question. Is it that they do not know? Because they didn't read it? Or they knew? But then it is not intentional. You turn to the page 25. Page 25. It tells you how to control expenditure.
Yeah, so the page 25.
Again, you ask the same question. Lastly, the payments on chapter 5, page 28.
Chapter 5, page 28.
Lord Mayor, this will tell you all the different type of payments. For development or non-recurrent expenditure.
Development non-recurrent expenditure.
Operating or recurrent expenditure.
Operating on recurrent
you turn to the next page, it tells about classification of payments.
Classification of payments.
The same page will tell you about procedure for payments and expenditure. Are you following?
Yes.
And it tells you about salaries.
Wages.
Page 33, other payments.
So the page 33
Page 34, purchase and supplies.
So the 34 gender bagage and supply bagage.
Office expenses.
Bagage office
goes on and on and on. Right? Now, When you look at that, you now turn to page 52.
Number 52.
It tells you about impressed. What impress means?
Impress.
The procedure for impress. And everything involved around impress. Petty cash. Next page.
Next page.
So now the question is, if we are to manage our institutions, should we not be familiar with this? No. No. Should we not be familiar with?
Okay.
Yes.
So what is the problem as to why we are not familiar with it?
Lead counsel.
Lead counsel.
Fogna Dimba, Hamga, you were talking, it's very, very difficult for man to understand.
Yes, it's very difficult for us to understand one another.
Why is that?
You work from the book.
You are talking from the book.
And this is not because
you are telling us about what the mayor says that they don't have the power.
In the case of expenditure.
Yes, there are expenditure. Yes. It depends.
And I wish I
wish that what was in this book,
Lolo don't play in council.
That was what was played in council.
Fogna danga wanna understand in councils.
But I think you need to understand in councils.
Dole be finance director si am.
The powers that the financial directors have.
Dole yi CEO si am.
And the powers that the CEOs have.
Take it from me, ne mayor be amut lolo.
Take it from me that the mayor does not have that power.
I cannot agree with that.
Wow.
I know, yes.
Because moi comme lima wax rek yow nekkulo ci position bi.
Yes, you will not agree, but because as I said, you are not in the position.
You are honest enough pour ne.
You are honest enough to say.
You go by the book.
You go by the book.
Yes.
And gis nga li.
And you see this.
For finance directors and CEOs.
For the finance directors and the CEOs.
I can tell you in most cases.
And I will tell you in most cases.
Pay book buñ len jox la rek.
It's just a book that was just given to them.
Why did you say the finance director and the CEO are more powerful?
Then la tax nga ne dole bi CEO ak finance director.
What do they do that you cannot control?
Then ñooñu lan la ñoo def wala lan la ñoo def li nga xam ne yow doo ko mën a control.
Or what do they do? What?
It's
yes,
many.
We'll give you the time.
What
do the finance director and the CEO do that neither they in place in relation to payments?
Lan moy lo xamne CEO def dinañ ko def mom ak director of finance li nga xamne mën na nek bir adut ak affaire fay bi.
Okay.
No.
Understand na lo wax.
Excuse me.
Yes, but it's just for the record. Tell the witness is chair, please proceed.
Yes, if the witness is going so fast, Mr. Bojang, please tell her to slow down. So that you can interpret correctly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Lord, first and foremost,
let me just guide you here. The reason why it is important for the interpreter to get it right, what you say. No, I said the reason why it is important for the interpreter to get it right. It's because your evidence is important. And so it is recorded. And so we want the witness to say as close as possible what you are saying. So that your evidence will be recorded accurately.
Well, first and foremost, Mayor be amut dara lu mo muna def council.
Mayor have nothing that he can be able to do in council.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
The CEO be
and the CEO
or management be anduñ ci.
Or the management does not agree with her.
If they want to frustrate the efforts of the mayor.
If they want to frustrate the effort of the mayor.
Lolu jëlul len dara.
That is not, they will take them nothing.
Give us examples.
But there are
example.
But there are 1,000 things.
There are 1,000 things
that
they can be able to do without the consent or the knowledge of to the mayor.
A few examples.
And these examples, I'll give you a few examples.
Former finance director.
Our former finance director.
You
see, you all see how he was crediting himself money. I have never been aware of that.
Why?
It was because they
do hide me. I will never be aware. I don't know. As I told you, what they want, they wish me to know, I will do. But what they don't.
Let's discuss that part. If the finance director is giving himself money, loan, and it takes more than a year for the council or the administration to know, do you blame the finance director? Or do you blame the council and the bosses of the finance director, the CEO, the mayor, and the council?
Council ngay blame wala ñi nga xamné ñoy njiti finance director moy mayor bi wala
no finance director bi ngay blame ngay blame ndax council or mayor or CEO.
And the financial director blame bi ci kala ndax financial director ngay blame
let me repeat that again.
Council ngay blame mayor wala CEO.
Let me take that again.
If
the finance director is to give himself loan,
then a finance director so
and it is wrong,
and
it takes a year or 2 or 3 before the mayor or council knows about it, do you just blame the finance director alone? Or does the CEO, the mayor, and the council have a share of the blame?
Wala soy blame, danga blame council, nga blame CEO ak mayor. Ñom tan dañoo bokk ci blame bi.
Jëlut at pour ñu xam ko.
It doesn't take a year before we know what happened.
Dina ci gëram national audit.
I will congratulate the national audit.
Because amna yu bari yo xamne ñom buñ ñëwé.
Because I know many of things when they came.
That
was the time it was placed in front of me.
When you said why that you knew about it here, the commission, and if you look at the timeline that the loan was given, and your point that sometimes you may not even know about it for a long time. That's why I asked that question. Because there would have been a breach in administration. From the council all the way down to the day-to-day administration, that is CEO.
Wow, lead council.
Lead council.
Fogna waxna fi ne mënuma xam luma CEO bi waxut.
I think I have said here I will not know anything that CEO does not inform me.
Lo xamne daf ko buga block te buma ko xam.
If anything he want to block so that I cannot know.
Mënuma wus Musa Kawane ba mako xam.
I cannot tell today I will know.
Xana ma déglu ko ma dégga ko rek from si suuf.
Unless I get it down or get it from the rumors.
Ma oko ma laajte ko.
Then I will call him and ask him.
Tay sa investigators yi.
And the investigators.
Luñ bëggut yow nga xam ko.
When, like for instance, if your investigators don't want you to know many things, you will not know it.
No way, I can tell you. Ask them.
No
chance.
No chance.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Because administration is structure. It's effective control. I know the job 10 times more than them. In fact, I do what I want them to do. And I check them. I oversee them. So back to the issue. The law says that there should be a supervisory role that exists between the chairman or the mayor in your case, the mayoress.
The mayor, the mayoress.
In the administration of council.
CEO in the management administration of council.
And the tools are there for you to utilize and have information. Relevant information. You see, if your finance director does something that's wrong, the institution is there for you to pick it up. 100%. These are payments. The accounts are there. The budget is there. Internal audit is there. Procurement unit is there. There is no chance that there can be a serious violation of payment procedures. And you should not know.
So you go finance director
so which means you don't believe that when the financial director was crediting himself money, I was aware, or
I believe that.
Yes, then alone.
What is the point?
Lead counsel.
No, what is the point on that?
And I'll learn more point before.
No, I want to
assure you that.
Mayor sorry. The mayor of Banjul
that the mayor of Banjul cannot be able to do anything.
The CEO and the management.
Without the consent or without the management and the CEO agreeing to it.
My point is, the lack of knowledge is a break in administration. Something is not going right.
I agree.
Because I
told you that.
So I told you that the finance directors and the CEOs, especially the finance director, these are the omega and the alpha of councils. No,
they are not.
That is the truth.
Why? Allow Mama narrate
No, you will come back to it. Let me just disagree with that point. Councils, the alpha and omega of councils are the politicians.
You
see how I call the finance directors and the CEOs? They aid and abet, they help the politicians. They help the politicians to mismanage council. I tell each of them in various area councils. Because, for instance, KMC. I'm just giving an example. The evidence we have gathered. You don't have that problem when it comes to a CEO. You don't have that problem. But if they don't like a CEO, you are gone.
Then you
are gone. If the mayor does not like the CEO is gone. We have seen the problem with Senator Martin. She did so many things that we don't agree with. We told her here. In fact, there are so many faults. The permanent secretary made so many faults. We agree with that. But what is also true, if they don't want the CEO, you are gone. That's the reality. We haven't seen that with you. We haven't seen that part with you. Let me say, I have not seen that with you. So, the power that council has is unlimited. Yes, it's unlimited. So you can proceed with it.
Lead council.
Lead council.
Banjul City Council.
Banjul City Council.
Sumala wahenela the finance directors and the CEOs ñoy the Omega and Alpha gomma man.
If you say the CEOs and the financial managers are the Omegas of the Banjul City Council.
Finance directors.
Finance directors. Please believe me.
And to be quite honest. Munuma sikalu bachilis lu bari sax.
I don't have much ambition or ubiquity on Bachilis side. Much.
Xam nga wax nga ne ku bugut sa CEO mu dem ku bugut sa li mu dem.
Because you said if you don't want the CEO, he gone. You don't like that part, he gone.
Man dama len wax ne Banjul City Council is a dumping ground.
I want to show you that Banjul City Council is a dumping ground.
Man dama tok ñu génné suma CEO.
I was there, my CEO was moved.
You génné suma finance director.
No, I said on that part. I said on that part.
Mom leral na fofu ne part bobu nonu.
Your area council.
Nena yow sa area council.
We have not seen you.
Ñun gisuñu yow, gisuñu la.
Make it effort to remove CEOs.
Pour nga def katan wala nga jappalé pour génné CEO si.
But I have said in KMC.
Nena mom lu wax moy KMC.
We have seen the power of council.
Nena gis nañ fofu doole council
been shown.
Bi nga xamné dañ ko woné fofu.
Or the mayor.
Or the wala doole mayor.
When it appears that they don't like to work with a certain CEO.
Nena buñ démé bé woré né am nañ ñoo xamné bëgguñ pour ñu liggéey ak ñooñu.
But we have not seen any evidence.
Nena waaye gisuñ ben evidence yow.
On your part.
Yow mi nga xamné yow sa bor.
That you did not like a CEO.
Nena yow bëggul pour nit wax né yow bëggul.
And therefore you are making effort for him or her to remove.
Légui ya nga def sa katan pour nga gis né ñu mëna ko génné. Nena gisuñ ko ci yow.
So you can proceed with
it. Nena kon mën nga proceed.
Wax naa la naka la finance director bi doon lebalee boppam xaalis ba muy dem ay $1 million.
Yes, lead counsel, I told you how the financial director was crediting himself monies up to an amount of $1 million.
Bi moo génn Banjul City Council.
When he was leaving Banjul City Council.
Dem na ak almost $1 million.
He went along almost with $1 million.
xaalis bu ba tey mënuñ koo jël si moom.
And that monies were not recovered from him yet.
Man toog na ma tukki.
I traveled.
Ma tukki ñëw.
I came back.
Ma fekk finance director bi indi fa nit.
I found that the financial director have brought somebody there.
Ma laajte kii kan la.
I then asked, who is this person?
ñu ne moo war a nekk di collect suñ revenue bi.
And I was told that it's the person who's supposed to collect our revenue.
And immediately dama ko wax CEO.
Immediately dama ko.
Ma ne ko CEO.
I went to the CEO and I said to CEO.
Gisuma benn revenue bu ees boo xam ne.
I don't see.
City Council war nañ ko mën a am pour ñu indi nit mu collectal yi.
I don't see any new revenue of which we can engage or employ this man to collect that revenue for us.
Ma ne ko leena dinaa la ko wax tey.
I tell him that one thing I will let you know that today.
Kii su suñ biir database bi ñun.
That this man and the new data that came.
Foofu laa dem di jëlee ji xaalis.
That is where he will be going to collect the money.
Amul fenn Banjul dafa ndaw.
There is no place. Banjul is tiny, it's small.
Amul fenn fu moo dem foo xam ne dina ne dafa génne lu ees.
There is no place where he can go and create a new fund or revenue.
CEO mu ne ma daf ko yóbbu council.
And CEO told me that he took him to council.
Council ñoo ko nangute.
And it was council approval.
Te man lu ma la advice mooy.
And my advice to you is.
Comme que yóbbu na ko si council si nangu nañ ko.
As far as you have taken him to council and it was agreed.
Mu ne ma yow bàyyi ko noonu.
Then he said to me, you leave.
I agree with you.
Then
ma complain loolu lead council ba soona.
I complained that to council for many times.
Mënuma ci dara ma bàyyi.
I could not be able to do anything.
At the end of the day.
And then at the end of the day.
Kooku dafa dem ay millions la yóbbuwaale.
When he went with a lot of money, millions and millions.
Fekk defut dara.
And did nothing. He done nothing there.
Gisuma benn dara lu ees loo xam ne kooku indil nañu ko.
Nothing new that he created.
Mënuma ci tus.
And I could not do anything.
Ma tukki waat ma ñëw.
I traveled again and came back.
Ma ñëw fekk fa benn jànq bu fa liggéey.
I found another girl working there.
Dem naa ba 1 month sax si laa ko door a xam.
It takes me up to 1 month before.
As it is time.
You became aware of that. Thank you.
Let her just round up that point.
Very well.
So that the evidence will be.
Very well.
Okay. Please
I traveled, I came back, and I found another young girl there.
Ma laaj CEO bi.
I asked, and it takes me 1 month before I became aware, and I asked the CEO.
Mu ne ma finance director moo ko indi.
And he said to me, it was financial director who brought that young girl.
Ma ne ko mu ne ma waaw.
I say, to him, he said yes.
Ñu dem ba si kanam.
We were there till later.
Mu door di fayal kooku pour mu dem university.
Then he started paying for her to go to the university.
Ak yeneen yoo xam ne.
And many things.
Du fi jeex.
It's a lot.
Da nga toog gis mu jël xaalis lebal councilor bi.
You see sometimes you get monies.
Nga toog
give it to councilors as credit.
Gannaaw si daf doon oo nit ñi.
Sometime later he used to call people.
Billaay wallaay di leen wax ne ndax.
I swear.
soxlu leen pour ñu lebal leen xaalis.
And say to them who feel like taking monies, I will credit you monies.
Ma oo CEO.
I called the CEO.
Ma ne ko kii li moo def nii.
And said to him, what this man is doing.
Mu ngi ñoo sonal.
It is disturbing us.
Bi mo ñew ci council bi.
When he was coming to council.
Seetal ñaata ban façon ñun debt lañ amone.
You can check back how much debt we had.
Ak bi mo génna.
And after he left.
Lan lañu fa bayil.
What he left here.
Motax bima déggé mu tok fi di wax.
Very well.
Madam Lord Mayor, we will take a recess for 30 minutes. We will be back.
Okay, thank you.
We may rise.